What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Dubs Oriented here, and today we have the latest spoilers and leaks for the latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 267, and we have a lot to talk about. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. So the chapter starts off with Yuta and Gojo talking during their body swapping training, and Yuta asks Gojo to give him the final finger of Sukuna, so he would be able to copy his shrine technique. But Gojo refuses, saying this is because even though Yuta would meet the requirements for copying the technique, he still wouldn't be ready to use it due to the lack of information. And Yuta agrees with it due to the example of Yuta being able to copy Inumaki's cursed speech but wasn't able to use it without Inumaki's knowledge. Then Gojo comments on the fact that they still need to link to Sukuna, and that is a gamble, referring to Hakari's line, but rephrases it as heat. And then Yuta further explains his curse technique is dependent on the quantity and part of the person's body that Rika needs to consume, and the amount of times he can use their ability. And Yuta follows up by saying that if he wants to copy a strong technique like Shrine, he needs to take in a pivotal part of the person's body, but he can use the binding vows to get around it. He explains a drawback, which is that if the body part of the person consumed by Rika is regenerated, then the consumed part will become useless, leading to his copy technique being ineffective. He ties this back to how he was able to obtain both cursed speech and Jacob's ladder, which was by Rika consuming the lost arms of both Hana and Inumaki because it couldn't be healed back. So Yuta didn't have to worry about that. And so Yuta didn't plan on using Charles' curse technique for long because he knew it would wear off, because Hakari promised him that he would heal the ribcage that was consumed by Rika in order to use his technique. Then Mei questions Yuta on if he knows about the resonance between Yuji and Sukuna. That's why he said he will carry out this plan before fighting Sukuna, and that he will tell Yuji later on. Then we cut to Yuta speaking with Yuji, where he observes Yuji and realizes that his body is now engraved with Sukuna's curse technique through Gojo's 6 eyes. Then we cut back to the present, where Sukuna realizes that Yuji is missing more fingers than the ones he used to transfer himself to Megami, but realizes that Yuta finessed him because he was able to copy the shrine technique from Yuji's fingers. Then we cut to Utahime and Gakuganji, who are guarding over Sukuna's final finger, which is sealed, and Gakuganji asks if that technique would be able to penetrate the finger. And Utahime replies by saying that it would work as long as there is a binding vow where the goal isn't to destroy the object, but to apply the technique's effects onto it. And they are teasing us so much because she says that maybe she can pull it off, but she is burned because she recently just woke up. Then we cut to Nobara Kugisaki as she uses resonance on the final finger. And then we cut to Sukuna as he is damaged by the technique, and he knows that he is screwed because now he isn't able to open his domain, and that Yuji sure hit will finally hit. Then we get a sad moment as Yuji realizes that Nobara is actually alive, and she addresses Yuji by saying, "How's that for Opapi, you idiot?" Then Yuji follows up with a dismantled punch. Then Yuji follows up with a knee to the face, which makes Sukuna throw up. But Sukuna hasn't given up as he punches Yuji. Then Sukuna shows his relentlessness as he challenges Yuji, knowing that Yuji has surpassed his expectations, as he isn't healing his injuries because he still has to keep his domain open. Then Yuji uses his delayed impact punch on Sukuna and says, "Let's put an end to this ever cycling curse, Sukuna." Then Yuji hits him with a black flash, and that's how the chapter ends. And the commenter says something like the battle is finally ending, or the end of the battle is near, or something like that. And yeah, that's how the chapter ends. So, oh my goodness, guys, we have a lot to talk about. So yeah, man, we're just getting like a little flashback on everything, on how everything went down with the final battle, how Gojo and Yuta were discussing plans on how Yuta would be able to copy Sukuna's curse technique, and we get a lot of insight to how Yuta's copy technique works. Now that there are some drawbacks, which is that the consumed body part of the person that Rika consumed, if the person is able to heal themselves and replace that body part, then the body part that Rika already consumed would be, rendered useless, and she wouldn't be able to use that copy technique. And so that is really interesting because it just explains so much basically on how he was able to obtain Inumaki's cursed speech and Hana's, Jacob's ladder, which was because of the fact that he knew for a fact that they wouldn't be able to replace or heal those lost limbs. So that's why he took a chance, and that's why he knew he would be able to copy it wholeheartedly. I knew Yuta didn't want to do that, but he didn't really have a choice, And then, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, bro. Freaking Nobara Kugisaki is back. I told y'all. I still had a chance. There was no way Gege would keep that 1% like chance of her living for a reason. That's like a Chekhov's gun, in my opinion, because why would Gege put that in the story of where she had 1% of a chance to live? He could have easily just killed her off at that point, but no, he had us hoping. He had us believing in that 1% for a reason. And it makes perfect sense, bro, because Nobara's curse technique is the perfect, technique to be used in this situation, because we know that, Sukuna's cursed object is pretty durable and impenetrable. But it's through, Nobara using a binding vow, allowing her to apply her technique onto the finger, which would allow Nobara to use her resonance. And she was able to catch Sukuna off guard, being that assist to Yuji's plan of, taking out Sukuna once and for all. I want to know what you guys thought about this chapter, man. This chapter was absolutely insane. It seems like the team is back together besides Gojo. Now I have my hopes up for Gojo. I know just because of this moment, that doesn't mean Gojo will survive, because there are so many different ways this story can go. So I'm not going to just sit here and be like, oh, since Nobara was brought back, that means Gojo will be brought back too. I just have that like glimmer of hope, because before I didn't really think Gojo would come back. But now, since Nobara is back, somebody who has like been gone for like, I don't even know how long. Just imagine like Gojo, because he recently just, exited the story. So we don't know if he'll be able to come back and stuff like that. So I know it's kind of crazy. I'm still coping, but there's a possibility, man. There's a possibility. And yeah, man, I just want to know what you guys thought about this chapter, bro. What did you guys think about it so far? I'm just so glad my girl Nobara is back. I'm just so happy, bro. There was no way Gege would just do that to us, man. Like, people were like already counting her out because of that, like, because of the last chapter and how we saw all the people Yuji was talking about that died and that inspired him. And Nobara was obviously one of those people. So seeing Nobara now is pretty interesting, and seeing that she's actually alive. And it's crazy. She recently just woke up. Like, it's not even up to like a day or so she's been awake. So you recently just woke up. I'm just so happy that my girl Nobara is here. I'm just so happy she's good. I'm assuming, I don't think she got a power up or any sort of like upgrades to her power, because she just woke up, so she wouldn't really have had time to train. But you never know. She probably has RCT. I'm not going to count her out just yet. But just from what I've read so far, it doesn't seem like she has any new powers. But it seems like she kind of was able to use a binding vow to, to like protect her technique from Sukuna's fingers, effects. So yeah, man, please guys, comment down below what you guys thought of the chapter, of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 100 subs. 100 subs. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.